Heath here from PickinLessons.com, Cherokee Shuffle. This is a great fiddle tune, and in this banjo arrangement we're looking at a version in the key of A, capo 2, using both the single string and the melodic techniques. It's a pretty intermediate arrangement. When we break down the phrases at a slower tempo, they're pretty accessible, but it also means that once you get to know it, you can possibly play it at that faster tempo too, because it is a bit more straightforward, not as much going on, a bit of space. So, nice basic version of the melody. In a moment, we're going to break down part A of the tune here in this video, but if you head over to PickinLessons.com, you can grab yourself a copy of the tablature in the member section there. We'll continue this lesson, have a look at part B, where it does venture off into more melodic territory, and you also have some play along and backing tracks there as well. Now, we are in the key of A, so just standard tuning for a start, but pop your capo on fret 2 and then spike your 5th string to fret 7. Or if you don't have a spike, you can tune it up to the A, and that's fine. So this opening section, part A, we're pretty much using all the way through just this single string approach, so this single string technique. And the first bar is a really good example of what we're going to be doing with the technique. And then even to the second bar. So this single string perhaps is a little bit more like a fiddle or a mandolin might approach it, or a guitar. And the phrases are pretty compact, but the technique that we need for the right hand is basically alternating between a thumb and a finger. So thumb and index or thumb and middle would be okay. But the whole idea is we're alternating between the thumb, then in this case we'll call it the index finger. So that first measure, we're going to have these fingers here, which is all in the tablature, and the thumb can be quite dominant on the downbeat. So thumb, thumb, finger, thumb, thumb, finger, so index finger. Doesn't always have to be that way. Sometimes it's straight alternating and the thumb might play on the offbeat. It kind of depends on the configuration of the notes, but through here at the moment it's going to be pretty straight in terms of thumb on the downbeat, on the pulse. We will count it in 4 just to begin with too. Once you get up to tempo, you're going to want to feel it in cut time, so 2 beats of the measure, but we'll count it in 4 as we're learning it slow. Just before we move on, that pickup note is on that 4th quarter note count in, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So that hammer on there on string 4, played with your thumb. Okay, so the first measure, all on the 3rd string. So we have that repetition within that first bar. So the open 3rd with the thumb, and then thumb and index finger for the A. And we just repeat that. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. Bar 2. Slightly busier there. So we're starting on that 4th fret, which is the second, same as the B string there. But we're choosing to play it on the 3rd string because for the technique, it actually makes it a bit easier. So we're going to go from that 4th fret and alternate there with the thumb and the finger to begin with. So thumb, index, thumb. Then we're going to go index on that 2nd fret and finish with the thumb on the open string, that quarter note. So we just get that alternating between the thumb and the index. Then the thumb again for that hammer on the downbeat with the thumb. Let's have a look at the 3rd bar along. So 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So similar idea. Thumb, thumb, index, thumb, index, thumb. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Bar 4. That one's pretty straightforward, makes sense there. Thumb, thumb, index, thumb, thumb. We'll come back and put all this together once we get to the end, but do be mindful of kind of breaking down each little moment as you go along so you get familiar with it as you go. It's a nice idea to pop 1 or 2 bars together, or 2 or 3 bars together as you go, but we'll come back and do all 8 bars in a moment. Bar 5 has some syncopation in it. So here what we're doing is the accent moves to the offbeat there for a little while. So it's 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Now this is an example where our thumb isn't playing the downbeat. It's on the offbeat, but the configuration of the notes makes sense. So holding that 2nd fret there, and we've got thumb, index, thumb, index, thumb. 1 and 2 So those two offbeat notes sort of at the beginning of the bar there. Bar 6. Kick it off with that hammer on there onto the 2nd fret with your thumb, then thumb on the open 3rd, index and thumb, and then index and thumb for the open and 2nd. Now, bar 7 and 8. So bar 7, just before we go into the repeat, we do play this twice. This is probably the busiest bar, and it's probably one worth pulling out to work on. It's a really good exercise for the technique we're using. So we're going to kick it off on that 4th fret on the 3rd string, and we have this repeat of the 3 notes to kick us off. So leading with the thumb, thumb, index, thumb, index, thumb, index. Yeah, just straight, alternating there. Thumb to the 4th fret on string 4, index on that 2nd fret there, on the 3rd string. So being a busier bar, we've got the full bar of 8th notes there. So we're playing the 8 notes. It's busier. There's more going on. So it's a good exercise. But then you're moving into bar 8 before we finish. So the 1, 2, and 3. Then that hammer, just like the beginning pickup was. So do spend some time kind of getting familiar with the phrases as you go through. You can tackle each individual bar in this arrangement and that works, and then start piecing perhaps 2 bars together or 3 bars together as you start to learn it. But let's have a play through from the pickup just once through this A section now, bearing in mind you do want to repeat it once you get to know it. All right, so nice and slow from the top. We'll count it in 4 with that pickup being on beat 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so on. So there we have part A. So this part of the arrangement has been all single string. As we venture into part B, we actually move into the melodic territory. We're spending more time up the neck and certainly using the melodic technique as we go through that. So pickinlessons.com, you can grab yourself the tablature there, but in the member section, we are going to continue this lesson for part B, and you've got the play along and backing tracks there as well once you get to know it. So pickinlessons.com, I'll see you there.